Okay, we're doing a ranked Dominaria draft. 700. I can spend gold. Oh, damn it.
Oh, you already clicked it.
Oh, well.
Oh, wait, so I can use my gold to play Dominaria?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And you can use that convert gold into gems and play traditional draft,
Okay.
which is what I recommend. So,
Okay.
Time of Ice was really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah.
Wait, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I could have looked at the other cards, but
Yeah.
Time of Ice was clearly the strongest in the pack.
Yeah, but if you already know your pick, let me look at the cards because I'm curious because I don't know anything.
Yeah. So Memorial to Genius is fine. It's not super high pickup, but this format, you do want a lot of card draw. Grun, people thought would be amazing at first. It's actually terrible.
Double its power and toughness. Why would that not? Oh, it's only when the kicker happens, right?
And it only doubles whenever Grun attacks alone.
Yeah, I got that and I was fine with that, but you have to pay the kicker for that.
Well, like, they just block with a 1/1. So even if you like, a 10/10 attacker is absolutely fantastic. Like, your opponent will never be able to trade with enough creatures to get down a 10/10. But he has to attack alone, and attacking with only one creature is not what you want to do when your opponent can just block with
And
1/1s.
They could just use a death touch creature and then it kills it.
There's that too.
Okay.
So yeah. Blessed Light is White's best removal spell. It's instant, which is kind of rare for White, I think. But I think a pretty clear pick here is Academy Journey Mage.
So we can either return it to our hand or we can turn it to their hand, which is good for us.
Return target creature an opponent controls.
Oh.
However, if an opponent controls one of our creatures, it actually does return to our hand.
Oh, okay. So that's how that could work for us.
Yeah. Keldon Raider is also a nice pick, but I generally want to, like, if I'm in blue, I want to pick Wizards early because I might get Wizards Matters spells later.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. Academy Journey Mage, pretty strong pick here. So there's a few interesting cards. Squee, I've always found, is kind of slow and like a good value creature, but generally if you're like casting him every turn to chump block, you're losing anyway. If they use removal spell on Squee, then it's actually really good. But so Voidkin Arcanist is a surprisingly good card. It might not be obvious at first. But it helps you cast instants and sorceries. And in blue, and probably like blue-red, and especially Wizards Matter deck, you're going to have a lot of those. And sometimes, if you have Divination, 2 and a blue, draw 2 cards, and you have this on the battlefield, and you have the 3 mana, sometimes you'll tap Voidkin Arcanist anyway, just so that you have the land open. So it's very flexible in that regard and helps you make interesting plays.
So, but it's only one colorless, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still ramp in blue, which is rare. So we're going to pick it over Coldwater Snapper, which is an okay card and a good curve topper, but something we'll probably get later.
And then I didn't really like that assistant card. It felt like you were just having to play it just to scry, which is a nice cheap one, but it just didn't feel helpful whenever you were trying to do it.
Yeah, and it just very, very easily dies.
Yeah.
Just a swift wind, and this bird will run into a wall. Frenzied Rage. So we did actually see like an Enchantment Matter card in the previous pack. We saw a 2-cost 1/1 that has +2/+2 for each enchantment on it, and this would be a really good follow-up to that. But I think blue is just very, very strong in this format. And we might end up in blue-red.
Okay.
But I think Voidkin Arcanist is the best here. And
There's
now
a
it's a
Sphinx.
very, very clear
Yeah.
Sphinx. Blood Tallow Candle seems like a really bad removal spell, but this is a super, super slow format where, like, we'll get that later.
Okay.
This is a super, super slow format. We're paying 6 to give something -5 until end of turn is actually okay. Like, this is a rare format where getting value out of your cards is more important than having a mana advantage over your opponent in many cases.
I do like that candle. I haven't seen us be able to really use it, though.
Yeah. I think I'll take the Sphinx over it. I think the Sphinx is more powerful in general.
Okay, and before you click, I want to see other cards. I would like to see Board of Weatherlight. Okay, thank you. Look at the top 5 of your cards of your library. You may reveal a historic card from them and put them in your hand. Put the rest to the bottom of your library. So we don't care about historics this time. That is helpful.
We might care about historics, but like they're going to be such a small portion of our library that this would almost never hit anyway.
And that's only on one creature, so that's not very powerful, and they can just get rid of it. We're not really doing knights, we're doing wizards.
We could do knights. We could end up in blue-white.
That one feels good.
No.
Why is that not good?
It's only okay. And a lot of kicker spells are instant, so it's like this trigger, like the fact that he gets menace doesn't always matter because you often want to cast your kicker spells during the attack phase.
Oh, this isn't kicked. It's... I see. Never mind. I don't like that card.
I mean, it is a fine red card. I'll play it in a like red-green kicker deck.
Okay.
So, knowing that I really want to be in red, Run Amok is a good pick here.
Okay.
Deep Freeze is like almost a removal spell and maybe a pick, but I'm not too high on it. We might be blue-black and want to take Vicious Offering. Run Amok is just going to be better if we end up in red-blue because it'll enable our creatures to get through. Like, we can even attack with a Voidkin Arcanist and have it kill a creature as it goes through, or Academy Journey Mage. We have a lot of low toughness creatures, and the +3 toughness that this gives it is just really great. And the fact that it has trample, it matters a lot.
Okay, I like Run Amok.
Yeah, and Vicious Offering is very good. I just don't know.
I like that, but I don't like sacrificing my creature because in the blue deck, do we have a lot of ways to get creatures back? I'm assuming in black, there's ways to get creatures back.
No, in blue there isn't. We might end up in black, so, but like generally, like this card is at its best in like a black-green Saprolings deck.
Okay.
But the other place where this card is good is if your opponent is using removal on one of your creatures, you can sacrifice it and remove one of their creatures instead.
Wait, what? You can move somebody else's creature?
Remove. Because this gives it -5.
Oh, that's not what I understood. Sacrifice is what I misunderstood.
Well, if your creature's already dying, then you might as well sacrifice it and give one of theirs -5/-5.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I still lean towards Run Amok.
Yeah. One thing I want to point out, I believe these are blood tallow candles.
Oh, that's funny, which is why that blood tallow had a, what was it?
-5/-5 effect.
That's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to see that. We don't have many historics. Oh, we have one historic.
So this is kind of cute with Time of Ice.
Yeah.
We can wait until the 3rd chapter of the saga is on the stack, put in full control mode, and then actually play this in response to it, and replay Time of Ice. So
I like that.
yeah, it's a neat little trick. It probably doesn't do anything else, but just because of the potential of that upside, or maybe saving a historic from a removal spell, or this could be interesting. We might end up siding it out if it's only combos with Time of Ice. I also like Zelfirin Void if we don't end up blue, red, black. If we're just two colors, tapping for colorless isn't that much of a downside, and getting to scry one is pretty good. But yeah, there's otherwise not really anything else for us in this pack anyway. So we see some decent white cards in Aven Sentry, and Mesa Unicorn is like filler, but okay in white. So I think I'm going to pick Aven Sentry and then just sort of see if we don't end up in those colors, but I still would prefer blue-red.
We don't want to do the red Radiant Lightning.
This doesn't do anything against most opponents. I would do it in like a super aggressive red deck.
Well, because I was thinking it deals 3 damage, and then we have the other cards that are going to deal 6 damage, so that's like 9 damage.
What other card? Oh, you mean like this plus Run Amok?
Yeah.
That's not how you draft. You're not going to draw both of these cards every game. And this card does not give us long-lasting advantage.
Okay.
We want incremental advantage that builds over every turn. I don't know if Diligent Excavator is right here. We don't have ways of getting cards back from our graveyard. We don't want to mill our opponent in case they have ways of getting cards back from theirs. And that's what this does. Whenever you cast a historic spell, target player puts top 2 cards of their library into their graveyard. If we don't want to mill either us or our opponent, it kind of screws us.
Gotcha.
Because it's not a May ability. So we'll take Warlord's Fury, which at least draws a card. Here's Champion of the Flame. And maybe we end up playing a bunch of enchantments. Probably not. But I'll hedge. Gets +2/+2. That was the 2-cost 1/1 that I was talking about earlier. I guess Goblin War Chief. We'll see. It generally does nothing except be a hasty 3-cost 2/2. Well, here's Frenzied Rage, which is a fine card. I'm not excited about enchantments because if the creature gets removed, it's a 2-for-1. I'll take Bloodstone Goblin because it's filler over a Warlord's Fury, which is also filler and not a creature. There might be a world where I play Curator's Wand. Probably not.
So we're definitely not white then.
Oh, in Bolus's Clutches. It's interesting that this is a blue card, considering that Liliana is black and Bolus is like red, blue, black in the mana that they use. You say we're definitely not white. Probably. There's
Academy Drake.
Yeah. So I think in Bolus's Clutches, like, sometimes this card turns out to be amazing. Sometimes it's like fine.
Would it be better just to get another Run Amok instead?
I think we're gonna go with the sometimes amazing, sometimes fine card over. We're not really getting there on the super aggro, but.
And what about the flyer? Would we rather have the Academy Drake? Oh, it seems like a low-cost flyer. Like, it doesn't help us.
So, this is an uncommon card. This is common. If it's between an uncommon and a common, and the uncommon has a potentially very high upside, I'm always going to go for the uncommon.
Gotcha. Okay.
It could be wrong, but that's what I'll do.
Gotcha.
Well, this is removal, which we really want. I also really want card draw. And it's kind of hard.
I think we need card draw.
Yeah. I've actually been impressed by Homeward Explorer in this format, but again, milling our opponent can at times be dangerous. I could splash for Eviscerate, but it doesn't feel like we really need to actually be in black at this point. Keldon Overseer actually is potentially just game-winning if we do make it on a more aggressive deck.
Let's do that.
Yeah. Oh, Sentinel of the Pearl Trident is actually a nice combo with In Bolus's Clutches if we decide we want to change what we clutched. Now that I think about it.
Because it's a legendary. Okay, so you can bring it back. Okay.
Yeah. Sage of Latnam does nothing. Arcane Flight can be kind of interesting for this type of deck. It's generally like a 1-cost enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and flying is not very good. But because it's like you're spending a whole card and your other card only gets like a keyword and +1/+1. But again, in this format, it actually can be fine. And there isn't a ton of removal in it.
What about the one next to it?
Homeward Explorer. Again,
milling a card. Okay,
yeah.
Never mind. Okay.
Yeah, this format has a lot of ways to get things back from the graveyard, so I'm always a little bit wary. And here's a Wizards Matter card. So deal X damage where X is the number of wizards you control. So we have Voidkin Arcanist, 1.
I think we only have the 1.
Sadly. 2.
If we get it even without having the wizards, is it still good? Or is it only good with having the wizards?
It's only amazing when you have wizards. But honestly, a 5-cost spell that gets you a 3/3 and destroys a 1/1 can be fine.
Well, because otherwise I was going to say get the lower cost Keldon and then wait later to do the kicker on it.
Keldon is not a low-cost card in most of the time. He's a 7-cost 3/1 with haste that steals an opposing creature.
But we could put the first one out as a 3 and the second one out as a higher one.
Yeah, but again, in this format, I'm caring less about mana efficiency and I'm caring more about getting maximum value out of every card. Okay. So I want the card that has the potential for upside over a card that I might have to play for tempo.
Okay.
We're not getting Karn's Temporal Sundering this time. Because we don't have anything that combos with it. So now Homeward Explorer looks good. Winggrace Acolyte looks okay, but I don't think we need to go in the black. Guardian of Koilos. Can return Time of Ice to our hand, not too useful. Okay. We also just do sort of want 4-drops. Rampaging Cyclops I've never been impressed with. He has a very significant downside. And the only blue card here is Homeward Explorer, which I'm fine with. I could take Gitu Lava Runner partially just to increase the number of wizards we have in our deck. We already have Arcane Flight, and I already don't think it's a great card, so I don't want to pick number 2. Zalfir and Void seems like another consideration, but I think I'd rather another body.
Okay.
Well, like Keldon Warcaller, I guess.
Why would we put a lore counter on our thing? It already has a lore counter.
Well, it puts another one on. 2 counters is better than 1 normally.
But
so we could use it to tap a... So we could, if we had Time of Ice out, we could actually attack with this and like go into stage 2, tap an opposing creature again, and then stage 3 would trigger the next turn and return all tapped creatures to their opponent's hand, or we can make the return all tapped creatures to their opponent's hand happen sooner. Like, it's not bad to do that.
Okay.
I probably don't want to play it if we can help it, but I'm just saying, like, it's okay. And if I had to go into black, I'd take Thallid Omnivore here. Chainer's Torment is awful. I hope people have stopped playing it. Stronghold Confessor was always pretty okay. Unwind is not really what I'm looking for. So I'll hedge that we maybe splash black. But even if we did splash black, we probably wouldn't splash for Stronghold Confessor. Yeah. Just... Well, there's a card almost worth splashing black and white for. But no. A very, very powerful card.
Would have to splash black and white, though.
Oh, I'm not saying I'll play it. I'm just saying it's very powerful.
Oh.
I think this is a pretty clear Academy Drake. We don't want Arcane Flight. We could splash black for Eldest Reborn, but we're also just lacking in 3-drops anyway.
Okay. And it's a flyer.
Yep. Well, Gitu Chronicler or Run Amok.
Run amok.
There's even another Academy Drake. I don't feel like we're a super aggressive deck that just wants as many Run Amoks as we can get.
But it's nice to have it on the flyer.
We generally don't want to put Run Amok on a flyer because we want to kill an opposing creature with it when they try to block. We'll only put it on a flyer if that's like lethal damage. I do, however, see that we don't really have any amazing spells to get back. But I actually think that we'd take Academy Drake over Run Amok because our game plan could be that we stall out on the ground, kill in the air.
Okay.
And Fiery Intervention is fine, but it's very, very slow. And 5 damage doesn't kill literally everything. And that would be over a 4/4 flyer for 7, which is very but good. Okay, we could take another Void or Befuddle. I think I do want the Wizard because of Fire Fist Adept. Now Run Amok or Syncopate.
Syncopate. That doesn't seem like that's good.
Well, it is a counter spell. In Best of 1, though, it's a little bit difficult to know what to counter with it. Whereas Run Amok, if like we counter a creature with it, then Run Amok's probably better because Run Amok also can force our opponent to have their creatures die.
I still would want Run Amok over Syncopate.
I think so. Third Run Amok. Sure. I would actually take that. Slin Voda is like a really powerful card if you can kick it.
We only have one Merfolk, so that would leave us with one card that what would that help with? Like, what is our Merfolk at?
We have 2 Merfolk.
Oh, we do?
And it leads Krakens, Leviathans, Octopuses, and Serpents. I don't think we have anything that's like that. Oh, another Merfolk. Yeah, it's a weird card because I don't even know what other cards in Magic this hits, but
Well, Merfolk, obviously. So you're
Well,
running a Merfolk deck. So
yeah, but if you're running a Merfolk deck, you're probably not running a 9-cost creature. Or it's 10 cost.
I want run amok.
Yeah.
So now it was better. Didn't have all those run amoks before because it just keeps coming around.
I mean, do we want 4th run amok?
Well, what else is there? Befuddled lets us draw a card for 3. Excavator does what? That's not. I don't think that's. I don't know. Yeah, it just feels like run amok. I feel like run amok's gonna help us when we're having issues and waiting to get out our big cards.
Well, run amok does require that we run creatures. You know, so having like a handful of run amoks and no creatures is a do nothing hand. I think we do take out Sentinel.
Okay.
I think Befuddle is more interesting because we are lacking in card draw.
Okay.
Probably don't need Warlord's Fury. I mean, 5th run amok.
Maybe we just get a sideboard at this point. If we're gonna sideboard, might as well get something that's really good for a side, like just to have.
I'm actually okay taking Sorcerer's Wand here.
Okay.
We have a number of wizards, and if they get blocked, they can start dealing 2 damage a turn.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else really.
Deals 1 damage without flying. Adds that. I don't feel like that's us. What is the other one?
Discard your hand.
Oh, that's not us.
Oh, I clicked accidentally. Befuddle. But for the sideboard version.
What's that ward thing? Okay, so since we already have Boluscus Clutches, which does that, that's why we don't want a second thing that does the same thing.
Okay, now I'll take Blood Tallow Cannon and be quite happy about it. So we're going to need to make 1 cut.
Run amok, because you said we don't have that many creatures.
I was thinking...
Oh, the
no.
Explorer.
I like him. Well, yeah. Because we don't really want to be all that much middle. Although Goblin War Chief is arguably much, much worse. In fact, Sentinel...
I would have put Sentinel back and taken out the Homerod.
Yeah. Sentinel perhaps... Oh. Perhaps he has more upside. Okay. So blue-red spells.
Okay. Take a break.
Going into round 2. What round 1? Round 1. We haven't played a game yet. Okay. Oh, I should have refilled my coffee. I'll refill my coffee after. Oh, Luna's path is blocked off. Drag cards from your hand to the battlefield to play them.
You could have got your coffee. I knew I should have sent you.
Take land.
So I guess they're going to take all your land.
Well, we're on the draw. A single blue source and this hand seems pretty okay. So we either have to draw a blue source or red cards, and I'm happy. And because we're good at Magic, we always draw blue sources. If they suit up that Sarah Angel with anything, we can send it back to their hand with Academy Journey Mage in a few turns. I think we're just happy playing Academy Journey Mage as a 2/2 flyer. I mean, could I be greedy with this? Nah, it doesn't make sense, right? Just play it out. Well, they've certainly kind of got us with that Mesa Unicorn. So I think Academy Journey Mage to send it back to their hand is pretty fair, or just play a 3/3. Yeah. And here I do feel fine milling them. Wrath. That was probably why they went into blue-white. It has flash, and you may cast historic spells, so like legendary creatures, as if they had flash. Pretty good. So this trade is fine for us. Let's see if they have a trick. They do not. They just thought that that was a good trade. Okay, sure. So we can bounce Mesa Unicorn back to their hand. And go in. The other play might have been like run amok. I'm probably just going to go all in and hold up double run. Oh, wow. Neat. So this doesn't really do much here, but it could. I think I'm going to attack into it. I don't mind trading off either of our creatures if we get to cast run amok. And then we can follow up with Blood Tallow Candle if they don't want to block. Yep, run amok's fine. Now we follow up with Blood Tallow Candle. Okay. In Bolus's Clutches goes down. So since we're not presenting lethal and I do want to be able to block... Oh. So Fire Fist Adept deals 2 to the Mesa Unicorn. I think I'd rather play Sentinel Pearl Titan if they want to attack with their 2/2. And hold off on their Mesa Unicorn. They might be like unconcerned about their life total right now though, because they do have quite a bit. Well, now this guy actually saves our Blood Tallow Candle from their Invoke the Divine, unless they have a counter spell. Dark Bargain, not the spell they wanted. Because taking 2 is not good for them right now. Also, Invoke the Divine gains them 4 life, so... Alright, we are presenting lethal right now. If I don't play the Fire Fist Adept. We deal 5. So if I attack all in, we might end up trading, but we otherwise are presenting lethal. Yep, this was the blocks I expected them to make. Run amok. Kinda gets them. Yeah. And this is the better run amok target, partially because it's a wizard, and it's good for Fire Fist Adept. And now we play a 2/2 flyer. So Fire Fist Adept will still deal 2 to anything if they play a 2/2 with lifelink again. But most likely I'm going to kill their Sarah Disciple. And drawing cards is not what they need to win right now. Relic Runner is not going to save them from my flyers. Okay. So very, very simple. Sorry, that was a bit fast again.
This is why we record. This is exactly what I want. So if we can go ahead and stop recording, and then I can see.
On to round 2. Too bad they don't have like Dominaria themed. Oh, we're against a mythic player.
Oh, wow.
Number 83, I think I saw.
Holy crud.
Alright, so I think this hand is keepable. Yeah, number 88.
Wow.
So we're gonna lose, but you know, maybe we'll see some good stuff. I'm a little tempted to like play out Keldon Overseer and then Frenzied Rage him, but I don't know if that's good. So we didn't see an instant. I am a little bit tempted to run out the Bloodstone Goblin, but are we ever getting to 7 with this Drake? Probably not. And maybe we Frenzied Rage the Drake, so they actually need 2 flyers if they ever want to block it, or they need to find Eviscerate. Josu Vess. Well, that's a blocker for them, but my Blood Tallow Candle eventually takes care of it. So, yeah, I think we Frenzied Rage Academy Drake, and we start racing. Frenzied Rage is not generally a card I really want to be playing, but, you know, it's fine here. And we're very close to getting our Blood Tallow Candle off. We need to draw 1 more land. Urza's Ruinous Blast would have actually been quite ruinous if they had gotten that off. Oh, boy. Well, we're kind of doing it. Time of Ice is really aiding our aggression here. So we get to tap their Winggrace Acolyte. Next turn, we're probably tapping Josu Vess. They could play a potentially scarier card. Sergeant at Arms, okay. Yeah, we're probably tapping Josu Vess. Oh, and we have Sentinel of Pearl Trident to sort of... so in response to the third act going off, I'm going to play Sentinel, and that'll be pretty sweet.
Oh, because we get to get the Time of Ice back.
Yeah.
And then play it all over again.
I might have to go into full control for that to work.
Do it.
But Arvad. Yeah, we're in full control. I mean, do I have to hold control? I don't know how to do this.
You just hit control and let it be.
No, I need full control, hold full control, and shift control. Control shift? Okay. So we're passing. Now, I could be wrong about how this works, but we draw our card. Now, in response, oh yeah. So the effect of Time of Ice is still on the stack. Take action. Oh my god, this is so good. So unless they have... Yeah, tap Arbot, I guess. So they can play their Winggrace Acolyte and gain some life, sure. But we just get to get that life back. And also... Okay, other Winggrace Acolyte. So let's see, is this lethal if we play Keldon Overseer? Can we kick him? So we don't have the mana to kick him. But we can, like, -5/-5, they're 2, 3, and then they block the 3 damage, and so it's only 1 extra damage. And if we just play this, they just block it, and still only 1 gets through. So we just attack with Academy Journey Mage. I guess I could have Befuddled to draw a card. I'm going to attack with the 3/3 as well.
Oh, sorry, baby. I'm so sorry. Oh.
Okay, and we actually do get to cast Befuddle for some value here. So tap this, Befuddle. If we draw Run Amok, we just win. We didn't. And we're gonna kick Keldon Overseer with their Josu Vests to get him. But okay, they don't want to play anymore. So we beat the 88th place mythic player.
That's really cool.
Okay, on to round 3, 0 losses.
Yay, and beat an 88 mythic.
Yeah. They seem to have good cards. It's just ours were better. I don't know.
You did good. I'm proud of you.
Well, thank you. Warms my heart.
Good.
Warms my heart even more than this loading screen.
Another 38-second waiting screen.
Ready. Against Baymin. Baymin. Baymin? Huh. I mean, this could be a very aggressive opener. And we're on the draw. Draw a blue source and we're happy. This is the kind of hand where I would be happy running Keldon Overseer out as a 3-cost haste creature. What do you think? It's kind of on the fence.
How many?
So 1 drop into 2-cost spell.
Okay.
Into 3 drop, and if we draw a blue source, we have a 4 and a 5.
Then I would keep this.
All right. Well, that's not land.
That's okay, because we'll get it by turn 2 or 3, so I'm not worried.
I hope. Well, we looked at a chart.
See?
Okay.
We got a blue. Sorry.
Okay. I mean, we are good at Magic, right? That's the thing. One thing that's interesting about this format is because Run Amok exists and it only can target attacking creatures, it's often correct to take down your opponent's creatures when they're not in the attack phase, whereas in most formats you want to use your removal when it is most surprising. So right now I'm going to attack into this Journey Mage because we have Run Amok, and yep, it makes a lot of sense for them not to attack there or block there. And because our hand is so slow and I don't know if we're drawing our next land, but I could Befuddle to help ensure it. Well, Befuddle's probably better for that than it is as a combat trick, so I'm just going to use Befuddle to gain a bit of health. Yeah, so we're going to, not take any damage from this Drake this turn. Maybe they have Run Amok, but, Run Amok's not even good. Okay, Well, that's weird. We didn't draw land. So we can play our own Academy Drake, or we can get in some hasty damage. We can play Arcane Flight on our 1/2 so that it can block Academy Drake. That's not what I want to do.
I feel like we should put our Drake out so that a flyer against a flyer.
Okay. First, let's attack. I want to... Okay, they're not using removal on us or anything like that. Alright, yeah. Let's get our Drake out. Syncopate? No. Wizard's Retort. Okay. Well, I'm not upset because we still have quite a hand.
We've got our land. Does that mean anything to us now?
Yeah, so we can either play Homred Explorer, although I still want to attack and leave up Run Amok. I don't want to play Arcane Flight on our 1-drop. Okay. Knowing that they may have a wizard that they want to play next turn, I don't want to mill them. Gitu Journey Mage, which if they kick, spending 6 mana, they can return an instant or sorcery back to their hand. I don't want to mill them and enable that. So I'm going to mill ourselves. We mill Run Amok and land. And you know what? I should have done this first so that Gitu would have done 1 more damage. Oh, so this is cute. They think they can block. But we have Run Amok. Run Amok means there is no blocking in this format. We don't need to worry about Coldwater Snapper when we have Run Amok. And also Fire Fist Adept, if we don't Run Amok here, will deal 2 damage to their Academy Drake. So, okay, they're going for it. Sorry, good dude. I kind of do feel like playing out Keldon Overseer for mana efficiency. But it kind of sucks not getting the surprise value out of it. But we have so much to do with our mana, I feel like it just makes sense.
Do you have more than 1?
No.
Okay.
But I think that we're enough ahead that we want to push our advantage rather than holding back. And we're about to kill off their Academy Journey Mage. Probably. Okay. Because it dealt 2 damage, because Fire Fist Adept plus Gitu Lava Runner is 2 wizards on the battlefield, and they're upset that I took so much time explaining that.
Really? Is that what it? They weren't just mad because they were losing?
Well, that too. On to round 4.
Yay.
One thing we've been kind of lucky about is we've been able to use the Trident, the 5-cost 3/3 with Flash that exiles a historic that we control until end of turn. We've actually been able to get value out of that every time we've drawn it. A lot of people are not very high on that card because it doesn't often get a lot of value. So, you know, maybe it's a better card than one might think. Or maybe it's not a very good card, and we just got lucky.
Is it the Blood Tallow? Is that what you were talking about?
No. The 5-cost 3/3 that has Flash. That exiled our Blood Tallow last game. Or a few games ago. I think this is keepable.
Okay.
I like Keldon Overseer in this hand if we get, like, Bloodstone Goblin and we can be very aggressive. Oh, and we drew Run Amok. That's also, like... Run Amok just allows us to always be attacking and never really be concerned about our opponent's blocks. Naban. That's super interesting. Like, you've got to wonder... We drafted a Naban at one point, but, like, our Naban was awful.
I was going to say, it must have not been good because I don't remember him.
Yeah. So I can Frenzied Rage here. Our Bloodstone Goblin, but it seems just better to play a 2/2 with flying.
Okay.
Oh, it looks like they have fungal infection. Remember that one?
Yes, that's the one I don't like when our opponent has it.
Yes. Yes, that is one way of describing it. If we can kill Naban, I'd actually really love that.
Can we do that using Run Amok or?
If they block.
Oh, that's right. That's for.
They also, like, so if we do Run Amok, this becomes a 5/5. They're presenting 3 power if they cast their 1 cost fungal infection. This is a 4/4, and then they can block and kill if they want to block with everything. I'm just sort of wondering, is that worth it? We could also just put Frenzied Rage on, like, the Academy Drake, like we did that other game.
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
And hope that it doesn't, like, get removed.
Uh-oh.
Well, we know their instant is likely fungal infection.
Oh, okay.
We don't know if they have, like, a blink of an eye or something like that that would sort of get us. It's almost like we spent 2 cards to get a kicked Academy Drake. Yargle! What a pleasant surprise for them. So if we did this and they blocked with Yargle, we could kill Yargle and still get in 2 points of trample damage.
Let's do that.
I think I just want to play another Academy Drake, honestly.
Oh, okay.
But then we have 9 coming at us every turn.
We still have to deal with Yargle, though.
Yeah.
I think we should deal with Yargle now.
Let's just get in. If they do the Vodkin Arcanist block, then... I mean, I guess I'm...
No, we should save for...
you know, I just want to play Academy Drake.
Yeah, I was going to say we should save. We're trying to get them to use Yargle. If they don't...
Yeah, and because they weren't likely to use Yargle, they probably sensed it was a trick. And it was. But we're presenting 6, 7, 8, 9... Sure, I'll take 11. Why not?
That sucks. So we should have not blocked with Bloodstone.
You mean not attacked?
Not
Hey,
attacked.
they're on Blood Tallow Candle. So Befuddle is kind of decent here.
So if we... Oh, but they have to minus. Like, I want to use it on the 9.
Yeah. And they can use it at instant speed, but they need a land in hand to do that. I'm thinking we're going to end up blocking with Bloodstone Goblin and Befuddling.
Okay.
We're kind of screwed on lands, and I don't think it makes sense to play Keldon Overseer and have it just trade with a 1/3.
Really? They're going to let us attack. They've got to have something in their hand. Because now...
Fungal
next
infection,
turn,
remember?
Oh. Well, because, like, next turn, they're dead. That's, like, lethal, right?
Well, they're attacking us for kind of lethal, too.
Oh.
So if they can move Bloodstone Goblin, you know, that's game.
Gotcha.
Good game. You know, because then they just attack.
Gotcha.
And they take 2 turns. Cardin's Temporal Sundering is why they're running the bond, probably. That's why we were running it.
Why didn't... We didn't have a spell that we could use on him?
No.
Ah.
On to round 5. Yargle's generally not a good card, by the way.
Really?
It's because 3 toughness just gets blocked and killed by 3/3s.
Then why couldn't we again? Oh, because they had a way to remove our 2...
Well, our creatures were blocked. They removed our 1 blocker, and it was kind of probably not correct for me to attack as aggressively as I did.
Oh, okay. Oh, they removed our 1 blocker. Okay.
Well, this hand has no creatures in it, and I'm not sure that we're going to draw the right ones. So I think we mulligan.
Okay.
Well, it has one creature, but it's too big. We're not playing our first creature on turn 5. Okay. So we've got 2 into a 3-cost spell. Short sword. That's always a little scary to see turn 1. Oh, god damn it, I'm stupid.
What happened?
I played
shit,
red
red
land.
I see now.
Distracted by Kitty.
Yeah, Luna. It's her playtime. And so she's fishing right now.
You see, if I drew a land, next turn I'd be able to play Academy Journey Mage, except I didn't play the right things. Anyway, we'll just play these out for now. And now when they equip the Davant Trapper with the short sword, we can play Academy Journey Mage and attack past, assuming we're able to draw land.
Okay.
Warcry Phoenix, that's scary. Well, we drew Time of Ice, but we just don't have land. Well, I'm not blocking next turn, so I guess I just go on the offensive. I mean, we should expect to lose a few games because we didn't draw lands, but I think last game was the same, kind of. Was that that we didn't draw lands? I don't know. You see, Run Amok is active right now because I can actually give them +3/+3 because they're attacking.
Oh.
So they're valid targets. I mean, it would be suicidal. I just wanted to point out that that was a thing.
Thank you.
Hey, land. I really want Academy Journey Mage out, but I actually think Time of Ice is a little more critical right now. Because a 3/3 flyer in the air is scaring me.
Alright, princess. We're gonna try to be calm. We want to be active right now. I know. I've got you in my arms. We're gonna be calm.
Yep, move the sword over. Why not? And tap down my creature, of course. But then I'm just gonna tap down your Davant Trapper. Like, do you have a follow-up? They have a follow-up. The good news is next turn we get to keep the Davant Trapper tapped, send the Knight of New Benalia back to their hand.
Okay.
And I actually have 5 mana available. Maybe I in Bolus's Clutches something next turn. I don't know. I don't feel like I attack, even if it's only... Yeah, I'll attack.
Okay.
If they block, sure, they get to put a counter on something. But that counter goes away when it gets returned to their hand. And I'm going to go into full control mode just in case we draw that 5 mana 3/3 with flash.
Okay.
So I'll put a stop on our upkeep. You can click the steps down here.
Oh, that's helpful.
Yeah. Right, move the sword. Do I even just block? I think I make that block. Because I would like less creatures. What? No.
Oh no.
Okay, fine. So now I don't have to remember to hold up full control or... So it's very low likely. Okay, didn't happen. Alright, so that goes off. They're left with 1 creature. And we could hold up Blood Tallow Candle, but Homered Explorer feels a little bit better here.
On us or them?
Would they have multiple Warcry Phoenixes? I don't like us right now. So I think them. You know what? We're actually just dead. because Warcry Phoenix comes out as a 2/2 and then hastily hits us for 2, but they can equip it with the short sword, so it's 3. Okay. So we'll let them play it out. I won't give them a good game, just in case. You know, it might have actually been the correct play to just hold up Blood Tallow Candle, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Alright. They seem to... Yep. Good game. Yeah, it would have been more correct to hold up Blood Tallow Candle. I didn't think of it soon enough.
So, I'm confused why we can't jump block with the...
Flying.
Oh, flying. Dang it.
Okay. So it's been a good draft so far, but let's see if we can get past our 3 wins.
Come on, lucky 3.
Yeah. I mean, win 3, lose 2. It's still better than a 50%, so, like, it's okay. Okay.
Alrighty.
We've got 2 really strong cards for the late game. We've got Divination to draw more cards, and we've got a 1-drop. There's not much to dislike about this hand. We're up against a diamond player.
Oh, cool.
So, 3 wins, 2 losses. Their draft must not be spectacular either, but they also don't seem to like their hand. Okay, but they kept anyway. Oh, not wrong land. Hello. Ugh, I swear. If I don't play the right lands, how are we ever going to get anywhere?
Do you think that hurt us last game?
A little bit, but I don't think, like, what they were doing was just better.
Ah, okay.
We didn't have the cards that we needed. So I could play Divination now and then see if we don't draw a 1-cost spell to play, but I think that's only exactly Arcane something. So let's just attack in. Okay. So they don't have Cast Down, they don't have Fungal Infection. Oh! We would have drawn Blood Tallow Candle. They are in black, so I am thinking that we do not try to mill them. But I will mill ourselves, and if we can mill 1 spell, that would have given Gitu Lava Runner +1 power.
Ah, okay.
Well, Champion of the Flame. Not really the card now. It looks like our opponent is stuck on mana.
That sucks.
So, if they played a creature and I didn't attack with Voidkin Arcanist, it could tap for the mana to play Befuddle on it. But I don't think there's a reason to do that. And considering that no matter what they play next, we're just going to time of Ice Net it, or just attack past it with Befuddle. This, oh god, they didn't draw the right... Alright, so what they did, I think, is they kept a hand full of like 3 swamps, and they're just like, I just need to draw plains, and then I can play my whole hand out, and it never happened. So, you know, not a good game for our opponent. The only saving grace is that, like, we also don't have the very fast aggression that we might like. They didn't draw the plains. Yeah.
That sucks.
So, diamond level players can also have hiccups. And we lost like 1 or 2 games because we didn't draw land, so, you know.
Balances out.
That's what happens. Alright.
I have noticed that these are way faster. Like, I haven't seen... Most of our games are under 10 minutes. Is it just because of our deck? Or is that the play of this?
Well, there are two factors. One, we do have a relatively fast deck. Also, it seems like everyone else has relatively fast decks. Um, like I've been in a lot of Dominaria games that have gone very long. Particularly like if you draft a good green deck, or like a very controlling blue-black deck, you can have very long games. But you know, I think that we're just a generally faster deck. And we keep drawing Time of Ice, which really speeds things up, honestly.
Ah.
So I want a divination. I'd kind of like... Okay, laundry's done. I'd kind of like to get this guy out, but I don't think that that's better than drawing cards right now. But if we don't have creatures on the battlefield, then Time of Ice isn't very good. I still think I'm going to divinate. Okay, this is one of those times where we didn't draw the 1-drop, and so we shouldn't have tapped our Voidkin Arcanist.
Oh, that sucks.
But we don't need a Time of Ice immediately. We have Academy Journey Mage. And we'll return almost anything back to a hand. Well, that can't block, and so it's not scary. But Mesa Unicorn gains them life, so we don't want that. So, Academy Journey Mage is kind of weird, because I think people really didn't think it would be very strong. But it ended up being that, like... Vicious Offering? Okay. It ended up being that, like, it's a 2-for-1 on tempo. And that's actually very good. Yeah, so I think we play out our wizards. This would have haste if we did run amok. And you know what? Why don't I just attack? Like, maybe I get to kill a Mesa Unicorn with a run amok. I'm actually okay with that. Because I'm just gonna play another one. Otherwise, I mean. Maybe we do an early Time of Ice, but I don't feel like we have that, like, aggressive of a board. And I could even double block here. I don't know. Like, that's not what they want to use Memorial to Folly on, right? Oh, they have a trick. They have, +2/+2, maybe? Fungal Infection? Okay. Got me. Alright, well, if in the next 2 turns we're able to draw a land, we can do that, Time of Ice trick again.
Okay.
And I would like them to stop gaining life. And I would like to slow this game down a little bit.
The next one would be the flyer.
The flyer is unconcerning to me because of its inability to block.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Meanies.
That sucks.
Alright. We'll see what other trick they have. Like, I could try this double block again. We certainly need to, like, get their creatures off the board. And get tricks out of their hand. I just hope that it's not a 2-for-1. That it's just still just a 1-for-1. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. And they're... Like, that would happen eventually, so I'm glad that it happens in an earlier turn than a later turn. But I'm not happy that it happens in general. At least our 3-1 will be able to do something, and hopefully they don't have another fungal infection, and therefore can't prevent me from trading with a Mesa Unicorn. I mean, what do you run 3 fungal infections in a deck? Wow. aggressive. Oh, for the life of God. Yeah. It's a pretty aggressive deck. So, even if we block this 2/2, we still are dead to the flyer and the 2 saplings, so that's GG. If they forget to attack, we win. Nah, they got it. Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna block. I just wanted to play my card. Okay. So what's kind of funny about these games is that this format is typically a lot faster, I thought. Or what I remembered was it being a lot faster or slower. I mean.
Yeah, because I thought I remember telling you it was slower, but this seems so much faster.
Well, faster than War of the Spark.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so that's true. My knowledge is based on War of the Spark.
Yeah.
So then War of the Spark must be slow.
Okay, so it was a bit of a middling draft, but... Okay. 2-headed giant. Yeah, I really wish they would have Dominaria on best of 3. I don't know if we would have done better in best of 3, but I think Dominaria in general is better. All right.